Assalamu alaikum. Students, I am Sidra Khalil, lecturer, Department of English, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. And today we are over here with another video of modern novel, Your Subject. Students, in previous lecture, we have discussed in detail about the symbolism of the novel A Passage to India written by E.M. Forster. I hope so that you are understanding all the points very well and you are exploring more points by yourself while reading the text of the novel A Passage to India. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss Passage to India through the lens of Orientalism. So today we will read the novel from Orientalist perspective. So let me tell you that what is the introduction of the what is Orientalism and what is the introduction of this topic is that influenced by deep-rooted Western collective thought of Orientalism. Forster has to a certain extent portrayed the colonialist ideology of the superiority of the white race and its culture and the constructed inferiority of Indians in A Passage to India. Meanwhile, he also attaches his advanced thoughts and rational strategy for resisting colonialist hegemony to the work, which has more or less subverted the hegemonic discourse reflected in Orientalism. Over here, I am telling you about the context of this topic. Now, next we will discuss the exploration of the colonial discourse and the representation of India as stereotypes in Orientalism. Said, we are talking about Edward Said. He has given the theory of Orientalism. He follows a Foucauldian analysis that Orientalism is not an objective reflection of the realist. It is indeed a manifestation of power. It conveys the idea of European identity as a superior one in comparison with all the non-European peoples and cultures. So Orientalism is a what? It is a Western style of dominating, restructuring and having authority over the Orient. Orient mean over the Easterns. A Passage to India is lauded with British ideology of superiority and it presents its colony, India, as lesser and inferior. In fact, British hegemonic discourse over the colonized India is fully manifested in this novel. So the comparison between the Eastern and the Western landscape in British collective imagination, India is depicted as a barbarous and evil land and the very antithesis of the West that has been portrayed by the readers by the West in this novel. In the opening chapter, in A Passage to India, the Indian residents contrast sharply with the British administrative district. In Forster's description, the Indian city Chandrapur is confusing and nothing extraordinary. Along the river Ganga are the dusty bazaars and dark alleyways which only unveil the trace of backwardness and poverty of India. This is a picture that West is portraying to the whole of the world about the Easterns, about the Orient. Even the wood seems made of mud and the inhabitants of the mud moving. These are the lines from the text. It seems that everything in India that meets the eye is so abased and so monotonous. While the Anglo-Indians' residence, which is above the Chandrapur, the prospect alters over here and they say that on the second right is lit out the little civil station and viewed hence Chandrapur appears to be a totally different place. It is a city of gardens. It is ironical that English civil station shares nothing except the overarching sky with the inland where the natives live. Beside this, Forster presents the aesthetics of Eastern and Western architectural structures as indicative of the differences of the respective cultures. Architecture in India is confused and it is also formless. Earth and building blend with each other and the structures are drab and coarse. In a way, the model of India is mirrored as nonchalant about logic and form. Western architecture over here, if we compare it with, however, is described as representative of a journal, honor from an form and proportion through Fielding's eyes when he is in Venice. And Fielding reads in this structure the self-evident correctness of the Western reason, a merit that is what the East lacks. So the comparison between the Eastern and the Western landscape gives a presence of power domination of the Occident against the Orient. It's mean West against the East. It also shows the superiority of the Westerners as a race over the Orientals. As Said explains that Orientalism is what? Orientalism is actually a belief to be more of a sign of European Atlantic power over the Orient. The portrayal of India and Indians as lesser and inferior other, the binary opposition of the Western self and Oriental other is constantly revealed in A Passage to India very artistically by the writer. As a matter of fact, the Indians are more stereotyped. They are depicted as slothful with strong parasitic tendencies. A typical example is Latif, a relative of Hamidullah. He is a character from the novel. In Foster's description, Latif has never done a stroke of work all his life and he lives off the generosity of Hamidullah. So long as someone of his relatives had a house, he was sure of a home, and it was unlikely that so large a family would all go bankrupt. His wife led a similar existence some hundreds of miles away. So these are the lines from the text that I added over here. So besides, the Indians are not only portrayed as ashamed of themselves and their own culture, they are also shown as are desperate to please English officials. This is their actually motto. This actually reflects the impact of imperial culture upon the native culture and identity. So Dr. Aziz's character, on the one hand, he actually denounces the rudeness of Hindu Bhattacharyas not keeping the appointment to receive two English ladies by their carriage as it was promised. On the other hand, we are talking about Dr. Aziz's character. He also regrets and distracts the ladies with commentary on other things after he sends his invitation to cater to them. For he is also ashamed of his own shabby house. Still, the behavior of an Indian Nawab Bahadur at the time of slight car accident presents the childish nature of the Indians. He cried out in Arabic and violently tugged his bread, and his terror was disproportionate and ridiculous. So the English pupil, however, in the whole novel, they act with calmness and they are not upset by the accident, which is due to their good manner and upbringing. So this scene regarding the English characters, this scene actually accords exactly with the Said's claim in his Orientalism that Oriental is irrational, they are depraved, they are childlike, they are different. Thus the European is, they are having a binary opposition again, they are rational, they are virtuous, they are mature and normal. So in A Passage to India, the centrality of the British power and the construction of India and Indians as lesser and inferior other is greatly exposed. So according to Said's Orientalism, for Britain, India is the vindication of the Western imperialism and almost vivid example of Oriental backwardness. Therefore, India is indeed a representative of triumph of English knowledge and the power in the colonial discourse. So another picture of the Orientalism, the difficulty of English-Indian friendship, to some degree, A Passage to India revolves around the question of whether it is possible for an Englishman and an Indian to be a friend. This is a question. The broad picture of English-Indian relationship is therefore shifted to a similar focus on the relationship between Aziz and the Fielding character. In the last part, the temple scene was there in the personal respect. So as a matter of fact, actually the cultural misapprehensions are dramatized through their cross-cultural relationship. Aziz is genuinely affectionate character, but a great proportion of his affection is based on his intuited connections as with the Englishman. That is his friend, also the Fielding was there. So to sum up the whole lecture, that we studied The Passage to India from Orientalist perspective. So it reveals that Foster's Orientalist idea through his depiction of the binary opposition between the Orient and the Occident, the self and the other, the superior Britain and the inferior India, the comparison of the landscape, the arrogance of the British and the compliance of the Indians, as well as the difficulty of building a friendly relationship, are all the manifestations of the Western hegemonic discourse. and these discourses are over the Eastern colonized country. So this is all about our today's lecture. In today's lecture, we have studied a novel, Passage to India, from an Orientalist perspective. I hope so that you understand all the points very well, Dad. So you can connect with me in your discussion room and ask questions. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Stay blessed.